There are three gods mentioned in Gita chapter 15, verses 16-17. Who are these three lords? After taking refuge in which god birth and death can be ended? Who is the best god among the three lords? What is he like? What is his name? To unravel all these mystical secrets, must listen the nectar words of Jagat Guru Tattvadarshi Sant Rampal Ji Maharaj, based on the holy scriptures of all religions.
God came and provided this knowledge that you are living here in the world of Kal and are searching for happiness. So the ongoing topic is that they cannot destroy the sinful karmas and they themselves also suffer punishment. This God Kal is the father of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. And those who ignore scriptures and behave arbitrarily. So we are living in such a world that if we do spiritual practice according to the scriptures, then some virtues will be gained. But sins will also happen in parallel, so they will be written separately until we come under the shelter of Supreme Venerable Kabir Dev, and that too through the Supreme Saint. You will not be able to get connected with God through fake saints, even though they are also called Kabir Panthi, because they do not have those mantras with which God can provide us benefits. Now, if someone cuts the crops with an axe, then it is not a proper way. It is useless. If you want to cut the crop, then you need a sharp sickle. That will cut it quickly in 1 hour, and he might continue with the hammer for 10 days. It goes in vain. So if the procedure to attain God should be correct, then God is attained. The ongoing subject is that the world in which we are living in is the world of such ruthlessness. For survival, one has to go somewhere. On the way, do not know how many animals are crushed under your feet. Insects, beings are crushed. This is known, but we cannot escape. And God tells that
पृथ्वी ऊपर पग जो धारे और करोड़ जीव एक दिन में मारे.
now the point is that what worship we used to do by ignoring the scriptures, with that virtues did not develop, because it was against the scriptures, and sins developed on their own. Like there is 1 acre of land or 2 acres of land. If you want to take some benefit from that land, like you want to grow grains like wheat, gram, millet, jowar, or any crop, then for that we must make special efforts. We will have to cut earlier weeds. If some bushes have grown in it, then they must be cut and removed. Then, with the help of a plow or tractor, you will have to work hard and you will have to invest money. With hard work or with money, you will have to sow seeds in it. Then you will have to put the seeds, that is, the seeds that will be sown, either you must buy and sow or put them from your home. That is also money spent. Then irrigation and personal hard work. Also, a lot of time is spent on it. Then the crop is grown, wheat is obtained. And if you do not work on the same land at all, then automatically weed will grow in it so much that no earth will be seen So it is useless. So virtuous souls, the grass grew there on its own, junk and weed grew on their own. How many efforts were put to grow the crop? And the crop might grow or not. The spiritual practice here was of such type like if someone performs penance or yajna to attain the title of Indra to become the king of heaven, then his tenacity or yajna was interrupted by the present king, Indra, because here politics work. Righteousness cannot work. Righteousness works only after coming to the feet of God, after we renounce the wish to rule, then only we can follow righteousness and succeed. So Indra, based on his politics, fearing that someone might perform religious ritual to get the title, gets that, destroys, gets that interrupted with some or the other reason. That practice, just like the farmer cultivates here, if hails comes or it floods, the full-grown crop is destroyed, or fire might burn a full-grown wheat crop. So the point is that even after so much hard work, there is no surety that it will come home, and if it comes home, then how much efforts were needed? But the weeds grew on its own in the ground, so this world where we are living is such a place that if we have to do virtue, then we will have to work hard with the body, also have to leave work, and will have to invest money as well. Then we will be able to gain virtues. And our spiritual practice should be according to our scripture, and it should not be arbitrary worship. By abandoning the scriptural method, then we will gain virtues. And sins will be written on a par. Sins are written separately, and virtues are written separately until we do not come under the shelter of Supreme God, Kabir, through an enlightened saint. Till then, whatever practice we do, even if it is as per scripture, still both of them will be written separately, virtues and sins separate, and we will get both of them. We will get that false happiness which we consider to be happiness of those devotional practices in heaven and great heaven, and the sins which have been written separately will be tolerated in hell or 84 lakh life forms, or in human life that will be endured. In that also some virtues and sins are mixed. The point is that where we are living and the gods we are worshipping with them are accumulated. Destined karmas cannot be destroyed. The destined karmas are ones that have been written in our life, which we call fate, luck, and both must be born after coming in the refuge of God, Kabir. God explains that in Yajurved, chapter number 5, mantra number 32, that Usi kasi Kavir anghari asi, bambhari asi. Anghari means means sins, Ari means enemy, destroyer of sins, is Kabir Dev. We call him Kabir Sahib. Bambhari means who cuts the bond of our karmas. Bambh means bondage, and Ari means enemy, Bambhari. He is the enemy of bondage, Kabir Dev, Kabir Sahib, and that Ritdhamo Swarajyoti Ritdhamasi. The body of that God is self-illuminated, just as the sun is self-illuminated. In the same way the body of God is self-illuminated, he is in form like humans, is in man form. He is like a man and resides in Satlok. Virtuous souls, God had spoken 600 years ago in his nectar speech, in Kabir's speech, in Satchidanand Ghan Brahm speech, had said 600 years ago that
वेद मेरा भेद है, मैं मिलो वेदन में नाही, और जौन वेद से मैं मिलूं वो वेद जानते नहीं.
Vedas are my secret. They are providing my knowledge, are glorifying me, but I cannot be attained by the methods described in these Vedas. Because in these 4 Vedas there is a mention of spiritual practice up to Brahma, and the 5th Veda, which was the Sukshma Ved, which was the speech of Satchidanand Ghan Brahma, that is, the 5th Ved was destroyed by God Kal so that all the living beings under me may not get to know about true God, and by doing this worship may not get out of my trap. From this intention, this God Kal destroyed that 5th Veda to fulfill the loss of that 5th Veda. The Supreme God Himself comes from Satlok, and then He provides information that is called the speech of Satchidanand Ghan Brahma. It has been said in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse number 32, that the practice is explained in verses 25 to 31, that Arjun, someone does yogasanas, some worships the gods, some are non-violent, strap their mouth and walk barefoot so that no living being is killed. Some do such Ritdhama. Like it is spoken by some, Ritdhama means resident of Satlok. It is said that he belongs to so and so village. We say like that Ritdhama resides in Satlok and Swarjyoti. Look what rubbish he has done. In the translation, the one who illuminates the space, Swarjyoti, self-illuminates, God is self-illuminated. He resides in Satlok. His name is Kabir. He is Anghari, is the enemy of sins and is the enemy of bondage. That is Bandi Chhod, Kabir Anghari. We call him Kabir. Also started writing Kabir. Bigger I. Now God has said that वेद मेरा भेद है, मैं वेदन में नहीं, और जो वेद से मैं मिलूं वो वेद जानते नहीं. See this. Rigved Bhasha Bhashyam Part 2. From where is it published? The publisher is Pandit Rakesh Rani, Head Office, Ved Mandir, Mahatma Ved Bhikshu Seva Ashram, Lekhram Nagar, Ibrahimpur, Mukhmelpur, Delhi 110036. Telephone 7202249, and below it has been written Dayanand Institute, publication of New Delhi. Now here is the translator. This is 910 Mandal. This is Mahatma Ved Bhikkhu, Bhartendranath Dayanand Sansthan, Karol Bagh, New Delhi. I will show you in its part 10, Sukt number 49. See this. Rigved Mandal number 10, Sukt 49. This is the first mantra. This is the first mantra of Sukt 49. It has been written in this that the one who worships me, that is complete God, is writing his glory in the Vedas. And this means that Aham Dan Grante Purvyam Swasvaham Brahm Kranav. Now the complete God says that I have created Brahma. Now look here, see their translation. I provide salvation and knowledge to the one who worships the everlasting world, Sanatan, grandeur, eternal abode. I also grant knowledge and liberation. That place is worth residing in, Sanatan abode, grandeur, going where your happiness will never end. I provide that. Ahem Brahm Kravnam. Now look, this is clear. We will have to read this also. They are messing this up. Ahem Brahm Kravnam. I create the Vedas. They have made Brahm meaning Vedas. Damn it. I created Brahma. Supreme God Kabir Dev Ji, Satpurush, had created Brahma. Now read the original Sanskrit. Ahem, that is me. Brahm, that is I. Create Kranava. Brahm, I create Brahma. Alright. Wherever they have made a small mistake in the translation, we will rectify it with our knowledge. These Vedas glorify me. This Veda praises me. All these 4 Vedas are singing my glory. I am the one who directs to the correct path. To those who perform yag, charity and satsang.
करे करावे साईं मन में लहर उठा और दादू सिद्धर जीव के आप बगल हो जा.
It says that I only bring those virtuous souls who perform charity, virtue and satsang. I am the one who orders the virtuous path. I only defeat those mischievous, sacrificial beings in the battle. Means I defeat them. The point of saying is that I have created Brahma, and those who perform my true worship praise me. I make them attain Sanatan, ultimate abode. Sanatan, that is eternal abode. And when we go there, there is prosperity and all comforts are by default. There is no death, no old age and no scarcity of anything, it is a habitable world. He provides salvation and knowledge, and I, Ahem Brahm Krinavam, create the Vedas, not Vedas. I create Brahm. Maham Vardhanam Mahaniyam. These Vedas are singing my glory, because later Brahma gave the knowledge of Vedas. Now the point of saying is that the scriptures which we believed to be correct, believed to be true, and still believe correct, we could not understand them. When complete God Kabir, that Dhanak Kabir ji, Weaver Kabir, God Kabir, Paramakshar Brahm, who came to Kashi, showed his Satlok to his beloved soul Dharamdas ji, showed him the land of truth and made him familiar with the whole situation. And when he came back, left the soul back in his body, then after he awakened, said that, O God, we used to consider these Sri Ram, Sri Krishna, Brahma, Mahesh and Vishnu to be the supreme power. O Lord, are these Vedas and all the Puranas false? It has been told about them that they are immortal and eternal, almighty, omniscient. God said,
वेद कतेब झूठे नहीं भाई, और झूठे हैं जो समझे नाई.
Those are liars who could not understand them.
वेद पढ़ने पर भेद न जाने, बाँचे पुराण 18.
Read the Vedas and still unable to understand them. They got the incorrect worship done.
और जड़ को अंधा पत्ते खुआवे, भूल गया सिरजनहारा.
They offer tulsi leaves for God, offer fruits, flowers on the idol, and it is said that you have forgotten the Creator. So these Vedas have the glory of God. Gradually this correct translation will come before you. First, the servant wants to make you firm that you understand that whatever this servant is saying is all true. After that, this servant will translate Vedas as required. First, you are being shown their translation of these mantras so that no one could confuse you by saying that Rampal does not know Sanskrit and the followers of Maharishi Dayanand Acharyas were scholars of Sanskrit. Maharishi Dayanand was also a learned man. He knew Sanskrit. He has understood it correctly and has translated the Vedas correctly. So first the servant will show the translation done by him, and then along with that will highlight the errors. Then you will understand. Then you will be sure which translation is correct and which is wrong. Then you will decide and will become firm. Unless we are firm, we cannot attain salvation. A staggering man can never be successful. Suppose you go ahead and there are two ways. You are going alone somewhere. Either there is a guide with you or some knowledgeable person, or you have a map. Looking at that map, you can see and walk that this is the way and not this, and you are firm about the map that whatever has been written in it is final. So these scriptures are our map. You are being shown this map that this is your way where you are going and not this one. You will become firm and cannot be shaken again if you don't have a map and you start walking and there will be two paths ahead. You will get into confusion. You make walk with closed eyes, that is separate. In the same way, the servant considers it necessary to introduce you to these scriptures. Now it is told that
वेद मेरा भेद है और मैं ना वेदन के माही, जौन वेद से मैं मिलूं ये वेद जानते नहीं.
it has been said in verse 32 of Gita Ji chapter 4 that the speech of God, that God spoke from his lotus mouth in Sachidanand Ghan Brahm means Paramakshar Brahm has spoken the speech from his mouth. In that information about these religious rituals has been given in detail. It has been told in Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the 34th verse of the 4th chapter. This Kal, the knowledge giver of Gita, is speaking after entering in Sri Krishna Ji. Entering in him is speaking. That is Tattva Gyan. You understand that knowledge by going to the enlightened saint, by prostrating them, by leaving deceit, serving and pleasing them, and questioning them politely. That Tattvadarshi Sant will provide you the knowledge of the Supreme Being, which even the knowledge giver of Gita does not know. That is the true spiritual knowledge. That is, in the speech of Satchidanand Ghan Brahm, has been uttered from the mouth of Satchidanand Ghan Brahm. That is, the same God has come and told us this truth, that who are you? Where have you come from? Who is God? What practice do you do? The glory of that God, like you read in the first mantra in Rigved Mandal 10, Sukt 49, Vedas, God says, complete Brahma says that I created this Brahma. Later Brahma further glorified me because God had fed the 5 Vedas inside Brahma. Just as the entire matter, the entire film is transferred from one mobile to another, in the same way, God had faxed the 5 Vedas into his mind from there. Then as the time came, according to the rule of God, all of them automatically came out and appeared through his breaths from inside him. Now 50 years from today, 20 years and 40 years ago, the servant would have told that God sent these 4 Vedas in his computer inside Kal, and then when the time came, according to his orders, God did such a process that it automatically came out from his breath. You wouldn't have believed, but now you will believe all, because today the technique which you are seeing, you may download as much from anywhere. There is a small chip, this small, and how much matter is filled inside it. It may be fit anywhere and then is put, and you may download as much, fill the pages after pages and prepare the bundle. This had happened. When he saw it was downloaded from his computer and he read, there was complete information. In the 5th Veda, Sukshma Ved, the way of worship was also there. He destroyed it immediately, hid them. And in the other 4, there is glory of God, but he could not destroy them. There is glory in them, but not the way of worship. It is not possible for the living beings to understand these Vedas, whether it is Brahma, Vishnu, whether it is Shiv. They also could not understand the Vedas. God himself comes and explains those scriptures written by him properly. God spoke the decisive knowledge of the Vedas in his voice. Satchidanand Ghan Brahm speech, Kabir Vani. Now after understanding that speech, we opened the Vedas and the Vedas became completely clear. Because it is spiritual knowledge, it cannot be explained by those who only know Sanskrit language, cannot translate it. Like someone learned Hindi, a foreigner, he may become good in Hindi and has become a Shastri, and he does not know Ramayana. He does not know the story of Ramayana. And if someone tells him that you translate these verses written by Tulsidas, then he will do rubbish, even if he is a scholar. So in the same way, the scholars of Sanskrit language, a scholar is the one who is omniscient. Only God, Kabir, is omniscient, and was the knower of all the languages, knew complete spiritual knowledge, and he was called ignorant by these fake scholars. Knowing Sanskrit does not make one a scholar. Knowing a language does not make one scholar. It is okay. He knows that language. He is the master. That's all. They could not understand true spiritual knowledge, because of which they did their wrong meaning. Now that God Himself comes from there, He tells correctly about the creation of the universe created by Him. He comes and provides the exact knowledge. He explains that knowledge. He comes walking like human beings, virtuous souls, this God Kal, through these ignorant sages, Maharishis, saints, gurus, Brahmans. The meaning of Brahman here is not by caste. This should be understood because we react and don't listen to the knowledge. The meaning of Brahman is one who is in the possession of Guru. He is a Brahman, the one who provides the knowledge, the knower of God. Brahman, soi jo Brahma pehchane. Brahman is called the one who has known God, but they did not know and were used to be called Brahmins. They were not sages, Maharishis, but were used to be called sages, Maharishis. Today they are called Maharishi, but are not worthy of calling Maharishi. They are called Brahman, but were not worthy of being called Brahman. As my Gurudev was a Brahman according to the caste in Haryana, in village Paintavas, near Dadari, Big Paintavas, district Bhiwani. He was the resident of that village, Big Paintavas, and was a Brahman by caste, but he does not call himself a Brahman. He used to say Sant Ramdevanand. He was a saint, and my Guru, grandfather, my Guruji's Guruji, he was from Chhavla village in Delhi near Najafgarh towards Gurgaon. Chhavla is on road. He was a Jat farmer from Chhavla village. He studied from Kashi Vidyapeeth and became the scholar of 4 subjects. He was called Pandit Chitanand. He was called Brahman. The ashram of our Guru grandfather is built in Gopalpur village near Kharkhoda in the district Sonipat. It has been written in their ashram, Pandit Chitanandji's ashram. And where there are ashram of our Gurudev, Sant Ramdevanandji's ashram. So here Brahman is not said because of caste, but because of the deed. So these fake Guru Brahmins who were at that post did not even know the ABC and were called sages and great sages. They could not understand that nectar speech of God. That is why God has said,
वेद कतेब झूठे नहीं भाई और झूठे हैं जो समझे नाही.
It has been written in Vedas that God Himself comes with speed. Like in Arya Samaj Guru, there are many educated people, but they have literal knowledge, not spiritual knowledge. Even Maharishi Dayanand also does not know ABC of spiritual knowledge. That's why he only tried to translate the Vedas. He had his own principle that God is formless and does not live at one place. One country means does not live in one place. He is omnipresent, just like air. The same is God. Well, gentlemen, how can formless God make such big structures? Like someone may say that how can one with form make? Listen, how one having form will make it? An engineer is in form and has made a ship, made an airplane and made this aeroplane. Made a ship is sitting in it and moving comfortably, and the plane is moving. Let a formless craftsman make it after death. Damn, will he be able to make it? Like this, God is in human form. He is highly radiant. There is no limit to His power. Everything happens with His words. As we see, there are magicians. They put such a small marble in their mouth. After a while, they do like this and make it a big stone which comes out of their mouths with such great difficulty. And they throw it like this. You can check it. When a magician can do so much, then that supreme magician, he is almighty. He can do anything in one word. In the same way, we must get aware with the glory of that God. It has been said that God has done everything. In one word, Sakal Zameen Asman. He created everything in one word. He is almighty and can do anything. He came and gave that information that they say God is formless. Vedas tell he is in form. He is in a human form. Virtuous souls. That is why God used to say,
मोती मुक्ता दर्शत नाही ये जग है सब अंदरे दिखत के तो नैन चसम इनका फिरा मोतिया बंदरे.
they seem to be learned men and were called Maharishis. They have cataracts. One who has cataracts in the eyes look healthy, everything would be visible, but is completely blind. One who has cataract in both eyes. God says to you, they look like Maharishis, Guru Brahmans, these Mandaleshwars, but they have cataracts. They do not know the truth written in their scriptures. And then they say God is formless. Now I will show you the whole situation of God. See Rigved, Mandal number 9. Rigved, Mandal number 9. I will show you. And Sukt number 86. Is God in form or is formless? What kind of spectacle does he perform? This is Rigved, Mandal number 9 and 10 have been translated together. This has been published from Sarvadeshikarya Pratinidhi Sabha, Maharishi Dayanand, Ramlila Ground, New Delhi, and this is the printer, Prince Offset Printers, 1510, Patodi House, Daryaganj, New Delhi. This has been printed. Now see Rigved, Mandal number 9, Sukt 86, Mantra number 26. It has been written in this that for the worshipper who performs the yagya, God, who performs yagya means worshipper who do religious rituals, means for the devotees, God eases all the paths, heals their obstacles and purifies.
आइए अब हम उन श्रद्धालुओं के अनुभव जानते हैं जो जगत गुरु तत्वदर्शी संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी से दीक्षा प्राप्त कर चुके हैं तथा उनके द्वारा बताए गए भक्ति मार्ग पर चल रहे हैं.
नमस्कार सर.
Sat Sahib,
Sir, what's your name?
Krishan Lal,
Where have you come from?
from Jalandhar city, Punjab.
When did you take initiation from Saint Rampal ji Maharaj?
I joined him on 11 December 2016.
What kind of devotional practice were you doing before joining Saint Rampal ji Maharaj?
As a child, I used to worship Mother Durga. And I kept doing this and I grew up. Studies were over and I joined the army. There too I did the same. Saw me doing Durga worship and asked me, what was I doing? I said, I am worshipping Ma Durga. Then he asked me, who is your guru? I said, I have no guru. Then he told me that worship is waste without a guru. He said, if you want to worship, first have a guru. So I searched for that guru and I asked him where and how I can get the guru. He said, I live in Punjab. Where do you live? I said that I too live in Punjab. He said, as of now, only Radha Swami is the biggest religious institution in Punjab. Go and join them. So I took emergency leaves for 10 days and I went to Radha Swami Dera and stood in the queue. And when I got turned, they asked me how many discourses I heard. So I replied that I have never heard any discourse. So they first asked me to listen to the discourses for 5-6 months. And then I will get the initiation. I returned to the army and thought to myself that what would I do now? This was the time when I realized that my life is incomplete without God. I had to leave my job to go in search of God. So I finalized and resigned from my job. but it didn't get approved. Again, I resigned and it was disapproved. The third time it got approved and I went home. When my family came to know about my resignation, they told my father, and my father booted me out of the house. He said, "Go back where you came from." After leaving home, I came to Jalandhar. It took some time for me to settle there. After that, I heard the discourses of Radha Swami, and in the year 1994, I got the initiation from Radha Swami. After that, I devoted my mind and body in the service of Radha Swami camp, and I served there for about 20 years. After 20 years of service, I got so weak that I couldn't even walk properly. It was so difficult. When these problems occurred, I prayed to the Guru, on which they said, "This is the only way to meet the God, to meet the Almighty. If your legs get numb, let it be. If your body gets numb, let it be. This is what called dying alive. And whoever dies alive, only they get the God." Yet I was adamant, and after 2 more years, I got mentally disturbed. My family members picked me up and they all left me in the mental hospital. My younger brother, who was sitting with me in the car, told my children to get me checked in the normal hospital for once. So they stopped and took a hospital which was on the way. We went into the hospital. The doctor asked me, "What is this?" Showing his hand. I said, "It's a hand, right hand, which we use to complete most of our work." So he instructed my children to leave the room and asked me, "Are you in shock or something? Scared of losing something? Or you are scared of someone? Or is there something wrong with you? Your brain is stuck in one place." I said, "There is no such thing." Then the doctor asked me, "Then you must be meditating on someone or something. What are you doing?" I said, "Yes, I am meditating." "What are you meditating?" I said, "I was instructed by Dera Vyas." The doctor sent the children home and stopped me there for 2 days. He kept me unconscious for 2 days, and when I came out of unconsciousness on third day, I was normal by 50%. So the doctor instructed me to leave whatever I was practicing. He said, "If you want to live your life, leave whatever you are practicing." I couldn't leave the meditation, yet I was helpless and I had to listen to the doctor. And I reduced it. And I built my house, and in my house I hanged a photo of God Kabir ji. And when I used to sit near the photo, my mind would be calm and peaceful, and the moment I go away from it, my mind would go restless. And when I noticed that sitting near the Kabir's photo gives me peace, then I started to lie down there and do my prayers.
Sir, as you mentioned that you were connected to Radha Swami path, you served them for 20 years and you lost your health too and you got mentally sick. How did you come to Saint Rampal Ji Maharaj's refuge?
There was a devotee from Ludhiana named Mungia. With the grace of God's saint Rampal Ji Maharaj, that devotee visited my factory. Earlier, he also followed Radha Swami. When he saw me, he said, "Brother, why did you get so weak?" I told him the whole story. He told me that path is not right, as the 5 names they gave us all of them are the names of Satan. And Satan never let anyone meet God. Please listen to me and understand what I say. He gave me a book and also gave me some knowledge about the book and said, read this book and let me know whatever you decide after reading this book. And when I started reading the book at the night, so one by one, I kept reading on. I just didn't wanted to leave the book. I read it completely and then only I left it. The next day I called up the devotee brother. I said, I'm coming to you and I want to take the initiation. So he replied, if you want to, don't wait till morning, come right now. I visited him in Ludhiana and the next morning he brought me here and he got me my first name initiation here.
What benefit you got after taking the initiation from Saint Rampalji Maharaj?
First of all, my health which was deteriorated and it was difficult to walk and breathe and I could not even move a step. The moment when Guruji, Saint Rampalji Maharaj gave me the initiation, my body shivered as if an electric shock ran into my body. Gradually, I kept on the chanting day and night. My whole body started healing up. And today with His grace, I can walk and I can do any kind of work of this world. The second benefit, during that period my lungs got deteriorated. I couldn't breathe. I consulted many doctors who would give me medicines and say that my lungs can't be cured as it's slung over. But because of the initiation and because of the grace of Saint Rampalji Maharaj, because of his grace, I am healthy today. And because of Guru Rampalji Maharaj, today I am completely healthy and I can do all the work with complete ease. Thirdly, a few days back, my elder son passed away. His wife, who is my daughter-in-law, stays with me. His brother's operation was in Jalandhar. His operation was successful and he got discharged. My daughter-in-law asked me if I can go and drop him at Mukeria. I said, you come along with us. We were 5 people in a car. So there was one car that was following us. It followed us for 10 kilometers. I tried to let it pass, but it just kept following me. Then suddenly at one place, he started forcing his car towards me. I was driving on the right side of the road. But he forced me so much that my car started hitting the divider of the road. When I crashed onto the divider, the right side tire of my car, it completely exploded. The wheelbase of the right side of my car that climbed onto the divider and the vehicle started to overturn. But with the blessings of the Almighty Rampalji Maharaj, my car didn't overturn. Surprisingly, the car stabilized and all 5 of us were saved that day and all of us would have been dead. What else should I tell you about Guruji? Today, the purpose for which I spent the last 24 years, I found my purpose. I came to the court of the divine, in the court of the true king. Every time there is the mercy of the divine on me. While I was doing the devotion practice of Radha Swami, my body got damaged due to that devotion. And along with that, my lungs were also damaged. Then I went to the hospital to get me checked, and the doctors over there declared that 85% of my lungs were slung over. They said only remaining healthy lungs can be sustained, but damaged lungs cannot be cured with medicine. At the same time, my elder son died, and he left this world, which shocked me so much. He left 3 small children behind. They were all alone. After that, the reason for not giving up devotion was that my wife died 2 years later, and I was left all alone. Guru Rampal Ji Maharaj showed his mercy, sent his devotee. He showed me this path, and by coming on this path, I got the true name of God. And the truth came out that the 5 names they would give us were names of Satans. Those were Satan's names and would never give us any benefit. But earlier, I was lost. I was worshipping as they instructed me, and I was suffering. Today I have got happiness due to the grace of Rampalji, and I am right in front of you, happy and healthy. I can do all the work. I don't have any problem now.
That you were connected to Radha Swami path for 20 years. Then you have been following Saint Rampalji Maharaj for 2 years and doing his spiritual practice. What is the difference between these two practices?
Sir, as I have told you that during those 20 years, whenever we used to ask them that we cannot experience anything related to God, they used to say only one thing: to increase our prayer time from 2 hours to 3 hours and then to 4 hours. So we kept doing that, and hence our health completely deteriorated. And my elder son also passed away in front of my eyes, and my wife also passed away. All of this happened during those 20 years, when we left the wrong path of devotion and came to the Divine Guru Rampalji Maharaj's care. So, first of all, the shock that I was in, Guruji took me out of it, because there could be no devotion done in shock. So Guruji first took me out of that shock, and then he offered me his true initiation, and I was blessed receiving the initiation. And today it is my body in front of you. It can do all the work in this world.
Sir, what do you want to say to those devotees who are watching you today, especially those who are connected to Radha Swami path? What message do you want to convey to them?
I am not capable to convey any message to the devotees, but I can request them with folded hands that those devotees who have come on this earth having this body and soul, it is important for everyone to have the true name of God and the true initiation of the divine Guruji. It is very important. If they don't get the true path of spiritual practice and initiation, then throughout the life, they will keep performing the wrong practices of worshipping the God, and they will never get salvation. So, I fold my hands and request all of you that today's society is educated and it can think and understand. And the true Guru, the epitome of the universal energy, who has arrived on this earth in the form of Saint Rampalji Maharaj, have initiation from him, follow his path, know the truth of Guruji, take initiation from him, and I am sure that you will get salvation.
Sir, how can one take the initiation from Saint Rampalji Maharaj?
The discourses of Guruji are being telecasted on various channels. You can see a yellow strip that is visible. On that yellow strip, you can see the mobile numbers. Any devotee who wants to join this path, they can call up the numbers and inquire about the Saint Rampalji Maharaj's initiation procedure and regarding the nearest initiation center. They can go over there and get their initiation from Saint Rampalji Maharaj and can achieve salvation.
Thank you, sir.
Sat Sahib Ji.
आप सुन रहे थे जगत गुरु तत्वदर्शी संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी के मंगल प्रवचन। अधिक जानकारी के लिए विजिट कीजिए हमारी वेबसाइट www.jagatgururampalji.org। संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी के शुभ आशीर्वाद से पूरे विश्व भर में 500 से भी ज्यादा नाम दीक्षा केंद्र हैं, जिन पर संत रामपाल जी महाराज जी द्वारा ऑनलाइन निशुल्क नाम दीक्षा दी जा रही है। अपने नजदीकी नाम दीक्षा केंद्र